If I should have a daughter, instead of Mom, she's going to call me Point B, because that way she knows that no matter what happens, she can always find her way to me. And I'm going to paint the solar systems on the backs of her hands so she'll have to learn the entire universe before she can say, oh, I know that like the back of my hand. And she's going to learn that this life will hit you hard in the face. It's gonna wait for you to stand back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. Because getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they love the taste of air. Parenting is a process. In these two poems, If I Should Have a Daughter and Hands by Sarah Kay, we explore the wonders of parenting. Parenthood, a program. There is hurt and fear in this world that cannot be fixed by band-aids or poetry. So the first time she realizes that Wonder Woman isn't coming, I'll make sure she knows she doesn't have to wear the cape all by herself. Because no matter how wide you stretch your fingers, your hands will always be too small to catch all of the pain you want to heal. And believe me, I've tried. And baby, I'll tell her, don't you stick your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. But I know she will anyway. So instead, I'll always keep an extra supply of chocolate and rain boots nearby. Because there's no heartbreak that chocolate can't fix. Well, there's a few heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that's what the rain boots are for. Because rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to look at the world through the underside of a glass-bottomed boat. To look through a microscope at the galaxies that exist on the pinpoint of the human mind. Because that's the way my mom taught me. That there'll be days like this. That there'll be days like this, my mama said. When you open your hands to catch and you wind up with only blisters and bruises. When you step out of the phone booth and try to fly, and the very people who you want to save are the ones standing on your cape. When your boots will fill with rain and you'll be up to your knees in disappointment. And those are the days that you have all the more reason to say, thank you. Because there's nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shoreline no matter how many times it's sent away. You'll put the win in win some, lose some, but you'll put the star in starting over and over. And no matter how many landmines erupt in a minute, make sure your mind lands on this funny, beautiful place called life. And yes, on a scale of 1 to over-trusting, I'm pretty damn naive. But I want her to know that this world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Baby, I'll tell her, your mama is a warrior. But your papa, he is a warrior. And you are the girl with small hands and big eyes who never stops asking for more. Remember that good things come in 3. But so do bad things. And don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining, but always apologize when you've done something wrong. Your voice is small, but don't you ever stop singing. And when they finally hand you heartache, and they slip war and hatred under your doorstep, you tell them that they really ought to meet your mother. People used to tell me that I had beautiful hands. They told me so often, in fact, that one day I started to believe them. And I asked my photographer father, "Hey, Daddy, do you think I could be a hand model?" To which he said, "No way." I would have been sad, but there were far too many stuffed animals to hold, too many assignments to write, too many boys to weigh that, too many years to grow. We used to have a game, my dad and I, about holding hands, because we held hands everywhere. And every time he or I would whisper this great big number to the other, pretending that we were keeping track of how many times we'd held hands, that we were sure this one had to be 8,002,753. Hands learn more than minds do. Hands learn how to hold other hands, how to grip pencils and mold poetry, how to tickle pianos and dribble a basketball. I love hands like I love people. They are the maps and compasses in which we navigate our way through life. Each scar marks a story worth telling. Each calloused palm, each cracked knuckle is years in a factory or a missed punch. This poem is about love and fingers. Fingers interlock like a zipper of prayer. One time I grabbed my dad's hand so that our fingers interlocked perfectly. But he changed positions, saying, "No, that handhold is for your mom." Kids high five, but grown-ups, we shake hands. You need a firm handshake, but don't hold on too tight, but don't let go too soon, but don't hold down for too long. But hands are not about politics. When did it become so complicated? I always thought it was simple. The other day, my dad looked at my hands as if seeing them for the first time, with laughter between his eyelids. With all the seriousness of a man of his humor could muster, he goes, "You know, you've got nice hands. You could have been a hand model." And before the laughter can escape me, I shake my head at him and squeeze his hand. 8,002,754.